Welcome. My name is Gino Giovanni, and this is Real Quick. I hope you had a great weekend. A lot of Americans aren't feeling so well after the 2020 election. Right-wingers and people who voted for President Trump are beside themselves and wondering how our president may have lost the presidency against Sleepy Joe Biden. And yet, every incumbent for the GOP won. The House picked up seats, making the Democrats more pissed off amongst themselves. The GOP also looks to keep the Senate, and a lot of left-wing initiatives did not pass. Something is not right. Americans take down a lot of the Democrat Party. Americans most likely voted straight Republican down their ballot and voted against most far-left initiatives, as well as pack Trump rallies from coast to coast, when Joe Biden couldn't pack much beyond 6 circles laid out in front of him on every stage he was featured. And you think Biden, the whitest of the two candidates, rich, old, and perverted based on what we know, and hands down, I think we are all in agreement, won the election? This puppet of the DNC won because the mainstream press, which now includes Fox News, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, told you so. As Jesse Waters said over the weekend, something doesn't add up. And by the way, it's fair to point out that the left in the streets celebrating by twerking, getting intoxicated, beating up dolls dressed like Trump with a bat, one dude making a severed head to look like the president and have it showcased on a stick. This past week, acting president-elect by the mainstream press asked Americans to come together and the enemy is our fellow countrymen. This is coming from the man who called Trump supporters names, said the president is racist. Also, don't forget Kamala Harris influencing rioters over the summer, stating, this is a movement and it can't be stopped. Is President Trump the real reason for the division in the United States? Left-leaning voters, or the low-information voter, which in my opinion is one and the same, their only argument or claim against the president is racism. And he and his followers show time and time again proves why the left's claim is false. I had friends who voted for Biden contacting me, gloating, talking smack. And it wasn't just me, but a lot of other Trump supporters staying the same after this alleged Biden win. Trump, his supporters, right-wing radio, and podcasters didn't cause this divide. Proud Boys did not infiltrate big cities to start burning them down and looting footlockers. It turns out that was Biden voters, people who hated Trump. It was Antifa and Black Lives Matter. They were the same people who burned down Ferguson, Baltimore, and many other cities in the name of racism. Conservatives, Trump supporters, don't have a long history of a ground game for protesting, rioting, and looting. The best Republicans are at grassroots are creating memes. The main culprit of the narrative about the president are the Democrat Party and the megaphone, which is the mainstream press, big media, and big tech. And here's why. Back in 1996, Fox News appeared on cable news. It disrupted liberal media back then. They were the new kid on the block, showing showing a new way to showcase the news and giving you 2 sides of every story. It also gave the right and traditionalists a voice like Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly and many others. After a few years of creeping to the top of the TV ratings, Fox News started to get crapped on by CNN, MSNBC, and the major networks. The networks all decided to eventually go left of the political spectrum and fight for the ratings that way. So it created division amongst viewers. You were either on Team Fox News or Team everybody else, because in the left's mind, their news was unbiased. The university system doesn't help also. Far left professors teaching their students why America is bad, systemically racist, and you must mobilize to create change. Plus big tech, located in Silicon Valley near San Francisco, and its values seeped into American life. Are you starting to see a pattern now? The left caused this mess. The Democrat Party caused this mess. Big media and big tech caused this mess. University systems caused this mess. The Republican Party wasn't excited before Trump. The best we had was talk radio, including Rush Limbaugh, who helped put a spark in the Republican voters, and they began to mobilize that way. But it wasn't enough. Then Donald Trump came onto the scene and introduced Trump rallies. Energetic, positive, patriotic at every single one. Crowds grew from 2016 to 2020. They were the hottest ticket in America. It almost was impossible to get in one. And you know what? Not once did President Trump or any speaker put a call to action and cause riots, division, or hate. In fact, some Democrat voters joined the Trump train and record number minorities. As we saw in this last election, President Trump got anywhere between 18 to 25% of the black vote. And in the 30s for Latinos. President Trump brought people together, not divide. He called out the left and its hypocrisy, which is what I do on this show. But we aren't dividing. A real true American brings everyone together and celebrates our freedom of diversity through our individualism and ideas. The left is about canceling and shutting down. Join us or else. And if you don't, you are brainwashed, a racist, the problem. That's what the left is told to say and do. I'd hate to be one of them. Such a sad lifestyle. No positivity, love for our country, or God for that matter. It's not even in their lives. Then to me, that's not necessarily being a true American. That about wraps up the show for today. Find me all over the web. I'd like to give shout outs to those of you listening in Washington, right there in Seattle. Also, people who are listening in Charlotte, North Carolina. We also got people listening to all around the Bay Area. Thank you. And we want to keep this show growing. It's new, and the show will get better as time goes on. I'd like to know your thoughts about what I am saying. Have a question? I'll answer it. Send me a message through anchor.fm. You go anchor.fm / Gino, or Real Quick with Gino Giovanni. Find me on anchor.fm. And find me on YouTube by typing in Gino Giovanni Presents. Leave a question or comment below the video. Also, find me on Parler.com at Gino Giovanni, all one word. Real Quick with Gino Giovanni can be found on Anchor.fm and all major podcast platforms. Become a supporter of this podcast with a small monthly donation to help sustain future episodes of Real Quick with Gino Giovanni by going to Anchor.fm/Real Quick with Gino Giovanni. Thank you for tuning into Real Quick with Gino Giovanni. Have a great day, and may God bless you.